What is going on, everybody? I am for the Toronto Huskies franchise. This should be episode number 9. And last thing, Huskies franchise, we were looking at some possible trade options. And after a little bit of, review and looking, the Toronto Huskies at the trade deadline have made a move. As you see, we have to cut a player, and that is because we actually were able to go out and trade for somebody. But before we jump in and talk about that, for those of you that are new here to the channel and this specific franchise, the Toronto Huskies franchise are pretty much an expansion team that replaced the Jacksonville Jaguars after Shad Khan, the owner, decided he no longer wanted to be part of the NFL. So Ryan Fitzpatrick, aka Fitzmagic, took over the team and also became their starting quarterback for this first season. So he went ahead and bought the team, moved them to Toronto. Essentially, everyone who was on the roster as a Jacksonville Jaguar is gone, with the exception of the kicker and the punter. Everyone else is pretty much brand new. We had a whole big draft and signed some free agents last year. So we've got a roster that is what was the first year hovering around a 65 or 66 overall. After some moves and some development, we've jumped all the way up to a 75 overall. So about almost 10 overall points in one season. That's a really good jump for us. But more than that, we finally got to play our first season, or part of it here. We won our first game back in week number 2. Go check that out. It was against the Tennessee Titans. And since then, though, we have been struggling to do a whole lot, especially offensively. So we decided we would make a move. Not on the offense, though, even though that's what's been struggling. I don't think that's going to really improve much until we get some new playmakers in here. But you're wondering, what move did this Toronto Huskies team make? One more thing, though. What's different about this franchise, we don't play the games. What does that mean? We broadcast and commentate the games, but this is a team building exercise. So we aren't able to go in there and make a 70 overall player look amazing just because we're good at the game. No, that's not how this works. We simulate and then we go ahead and watch the games live. I commentate them for you, occasionally having a guest commentator. We had one back in week number 4, I believe, 4 or 5 against the Minnesota Vikings. Go check that out. Shout out to Real Deal Neil 45 for jumping on, and hopefully he will come back later in the season for another episode, maybe week 12 against the Steelers, but we'll have to see. As you all have been waiting, let's check out the transactions here. So obviously, also I have some update on the draft class. I realized I made a very large mistake, so we will fix that, and I'll explain it a little bit here in a minute. So, as you can see here, the Toronto Huskies traded a 3rd-round draft pick to the Arizona Cardinals for safety Jalen Thompson. Now, you're wondering, why would I trade for a safety? Well, I know I had previously mentioned this, but I'm going to say it again. Our free safety, he's young, he's only about 24 years old or so, but his name was Lano Hill, and he had been very up and down this season. He had started off very poor, then had a couple of okay games, made some good tackles, and I'm just not happy with Lano Hill right now. More than that, I think that he could be a good trade piece if we decided to go that route. And also, I think he could play maybe a different role on this defense. But the other reason is because I just wanted another young piece in the secondary that I could develop. Because we got the veteran here in Rashad Jones, and I don't know how much longer he is going to be around on this Huskies team. Obviously, he's played well for us this season, but he is 32 years old and only a 77 overall. So looking at Jalen Thompson here at a 76 overall, I also really love what his abilities are. I think that he's a perfect fit for this defense. Even though he's only normal dev, I think we could upgrade that over time. The big thing that I like is he's got good speed on the back end, which is very helpful, especially when we've been getting beat deep a little bit this season, especially on that right or that free safety side. And then he's got okay zone coverage too. All right, so he's a good zone cover corner. He's the big thing that is lacking in his game. He's got great awareness as well and acceleration. Is just the tackling. So if we just work on that tackling and hit power, and all of a sudden he's going to be a really good safety for us down the line. So I like what he brings to the table. I think Jalen Thompson is a great fit. He was on the trade block, and so we decided to make a move. And that's the only move that this Huskies team is going to make, mainly because I don't want to be trading all of our picks away because I want to get a good draft this upcoming draft class. And speaking of the draft class, as you see the roster here, the draft class is going to be a little different. I had initially thought that I was going to be able to take and, well, you implement players from that initial draft, or the roster, that 2020 draft, I think, that we're just missing from this roster. Turns out, for some reason in this game, the practice squad players don't show up on the actual team's rosters. So I didn't see all these players that I was creating and putting into this draft class. They were actually already in there. And so all these players that I'd been working on through the first 8 weeks of the season, turns out, oh yes, they're already in here as real players. So I am going to have to change everything that I was doing, and I decided the only way that I can do that is just to literally put in a new draft class. So I went ahead and did that, and I put in a draft class that I found that's very in-depth. There's like a scouting document and everything that comes with it. So hopefully we're able to more or less able to utilize that, because we obviously lost 8 weeks worth of scouting when we changed the draft class over. So I'm going to hopefully be able to read you guys some of that stuff when we get into the actual draft. But without further ado, let's go ahead and cut this one player from the roster. Obviously, we're going to have to make a decision here because a lot of young players on this team, and we don't want to lose one of them if we put them onto our practice squad. So got to keep that in mind as we go through here and look. I'm eyeballing possibly either Edmund Robinson or Josh Caraway as outside linebackers who we could pretty much get rid of and not hurt the team long term. Those are the ones that immediately jumped out at me. Obviously, we don't really want to move any of the offensive linemen necessarily, because we don't have a lot of depth at those places. And then looking elsewhere, we don't have a lot of depth at tight end either. Wide receiver is a possibility, except then you look and, oh, yes, we only have 5 receivers. So the depth just isn't there. Running back, we only have 3. And then I realized, why don't we just go ahead and put Philip Walker, PJ Walker, on the practice squad. There's no reason why he's going to be picked up from a team if we put him there. So that's probably going to be the move here as we go ahead and do that and freeze up the roster spot. So let's go ahead and advance to week number 9 against this Baltimore Ravens club, which it's probably going to be a bloodbath here in this game. Not going to be good at all. I expect Lamar Jackson to run all over this squad. We do have a breakout player, however, so this is going to be really key because it is none other than Floyd Ellis, our best defensive player, our youngest defensive player as well, and the first ever draft pick for this Huskies franchise. As you see, Floyd Ellis, he needs to get some tackles for loss, maybe a sack, something like that. and all of a sudden we can increase his development trait. So that is going to be a very key thing to keep an eye on during this upcoming game. And CeeDee Lamb obviously has a couple of skill points after he was able to get over 100 yards on a very good performance last week, despite the fact that the team lost. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade his physical attributes here, make sure that he's going to be able to win those one-on-one matchups when given the opportunity to do so. So we're going to go ahead and put all three of these into the physical attribute, and that's going to bump him up to an 81 overall. This is probably one of our highest rated offensive weapons now, and offensive players in general. And then Josh Carraway here, we're going to just plop that into the speed rusher, increase his best characteristic there. And then moving forward, we're going to jump into this game against our Baltimore Ravens, or not our Baltimore Ravens, our Toronto Huskies going up against the Baltimore Ravens. As you see, we are pretty much the season's over for us, where there's no chance we're going to make the playoffs at 1-6, with the Texans at 6-1 leading the division, and we're going to be playing them next week. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But we're going to jump in and play the full game here. I'm excited to see how this team fares against Lamar Jackson. Earl as well. They have a very good offensive line out there in Baltimore, so it's going to be a tough day for this defense more than anything, and it's going to be a good opportunity for the defense to more or less test their mettle against one of the better offenses in the NFL here. As you see, we've got Logan Ryan, the veteran, who is leading this defense on the outside, and I will have to make a decision at some point this season. So if you guys have any opinions on whether or not we bring Logan Ryan back, he is, I believe, 29 years old, so he's going to be 30 after this season, and obviously regressing a little bit, but he would still, even after regression, be one of our top players on the roster. All right, so we will go ahead and change this to slow, jump to the end of the game. And Josh Lambo and this Toronto Huskies team comes out here to start this week number 9 game against the Baltimore Ravens. And this first kickoff goes for a touchback, and Lamar Jackson rolls out here. He's having a pretty good season. Not crazy. He's got 14 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 1,600 yards, but it's less about the throwing and more about what he does with his legs. As we all know, Lamar Jackson, probably the best runner of the football in the National Football League, at least in terms of a quarterback. And on this first down, he's going to get a little bit of pressure there and finds a man, though, on the sideline. What a catch. I believe that could have been Mark Andrews, his favorite target, getting a first down reception. And they got some pressure, though, on Lamar on that first down play. And then here on 1st and 10, we get a handoff to Mark Ingram, who trips over his lineman. And we're going to take a look at this offense. The offensive line, as I said, quite good. And then they have a duo here, Mark Ingram and David Johnson, actually, who they signed. A pretty veteran duo here, but these are two good runners of the football. And then we have Lamar Jackson dropping back on 2nd and 8, looking over the right-hand side. That is once again his favorite target, Mark Andrews, catching another ball here. And I think that Mark Andrews is going to be the top target in this offense today, despite the fact they do have Marquise Hollywood Brown. And this defense, as you see on the screen here, this Toronto Huskies defense, they are a pretty young squad for the most part. They have a couple of veterans with like Rashad Jones, Logan Ryan, and then the veteran in the middle who calls the plays, Josh Bynes. But everyone else is, for the most part, 26 or younger. And over the middle, we have another first down here. Lamar Jackson, 3 for 3, finding, yes, that's right. Well, excuse me, Mark Andrews on a 25-yard reception over the middle on 3rd and 6. That was an opportunity for this defense to get off the football field. But instead, the offense makes a statement here. They're like, we know who our best player is on offense, and we are going to just continues to put up yards on this defense. Now under center, we have Lamar Jackson. He's going to hand it off in the backfield, though. The defensive players just gang rush Mark Ingram. That was a pretty tough tough play there from Mark Ingram, excuse me. And guess who that was? That's right. Making the tackle for a loss, our brand new addition, Jalen Thompson, coming into the backfield and making a play in his very first game. That is what we're looking for from Jalen Thompson this season. And on 2nd and 13, Lamar drops back. He has all day in the pocket, goes deep, and that is caught for a touchdown. Hollywood Brown with a 36-yard touchdown. He goes up over the defender, just gets the positioning on him here, gets that inside track, and that allows him to go up and make the play. What a throw by Lamar. I don't know, was he in though? That sure looked like his shoulder came down out of bounds. That was Jalen Thompson on coverage. We just talked about how great of a play he made, and it's going to be close. If that knee got down, then that's a touchdown, but that is close. I'm surprised that they aren't going to take a look at it. And it looks like it is confirmed upstairs, a touchdown. The knee must have gotten down in the end zone. That is a great play from this Ravens offense. And Hollywood Brown going upstairs to make a reception for the first points in this game. Baltimore leads 7-0 as they kick this football off. And that means that this Toronto offense is going to have to answer. And they get a pretty good return here out to the 31-yard line. That is Ashton Doolin on the return, and it looks like he's down. He's grabbing his wrist, so that is going to mean we might see a new return man for the rest of this game, depending on what they determine. As he goes to the locker room to get the wrist checked out, got to make sure there's no major injury there. And we have Ryan Fitzpatrick under center to start this drive off in I formation. And he's going to immediately fake the handoff and throw over the middle, and that is bobbled and dropped by veteran Delaney Walker. And he's one of the only veterans outside of Ryan Fitzpatrick on this offense. And Ryan Fitzpatrick under center again, looks over to the left-hand side and completes this pass, getting up to the 41-yard line. That's going to be very close to first down yardage, making it 3rd and inches. That is Trent Sherfield with the reception. Now another fake here on 3rd and inches and wide open over the middle. That is Jesper Horsted, the number 2 tight end. He's been making some pretty good plays this season. I think that if we are looking for a tight end of the future, maybe Jesper Horsted could be that answer if Delaney Walker does not come back and decides instead to go to the retirement side of things. He's been playing very well, made some good receptions this season, and got some good first downs. And this is very key, that play where we almost got the first down, and what a run here. What a powerful run by Patrick Laird, 7 yards on 1st and 10. But as I was saying, Trent Sherfield, who caught that ball, he doesn't usually see the football field that much, and that is due to the fact that we recently had an injury to Keontae Bonds, the big rookie receiver who this Toronto team was very excited about this season and actually scored the first ever touchdown in franchise history. And ironically enough, as we see a bad play from this Toronto offense, they just get stuffed in the backfield. That is John Kelly with the carry, making it 3rd and 6. But as I was saying, Keontae Bonds he got injured recently and is expected to miss some time, as an errant pass here from Ryan Fitzpatrick on 3rd and 6. That's going to force a punt here from this Toronto offense, as they really got rolling. They got past the 50-yard line, but then just stalled out there with a couple of negative plays. But yes, Keontae Bonds, they're going to actually attempt a field goal. What? That is a 63-yard field goal. And that is no good. I wasn't sure for a second. That was one heck of a kick from Josh Lambo. I think that actually hit. That's ironic. It actually hit off of it was wide left, but hit off of the backstop there, and ironically bounced back and hit the crossbar. So it looked almost like it went through. ironically, but it ended up being a missed kick, giving the Ravens a great spot to start in plus territory here, start this drive off. And what a move there, making a man miss. That is Mark Ingram, showing he still has ability to make guys miss, even at his elder age now. 2nd and 6, though, and Lamar's going to drop back, throw over to the right-hand side, and it's going to be a broken tackle, but then gang tackled right after. That's going to be 3rd and inches, with an opportunity for this Toronto defense to get off the football field immediately with a 3 and out, and they're going to hand this off right up the middle, and look at that! What a stuff! I believe that was Terrell Beckwith being able to shed that block and get some hands on the runner. That's right, Terrell Beckwith, the rookie, the other rookie defensive tackle who doesn't really get talked about much because he's overshadowed by Floyd Ellis, but he himself is a pretty good young defensive tackle who could be a staple on this defensive front for years to come. But back to what I was saying, Keontae Bonds, he had an injury, and it's going to keep him out for a good portion of this season, which unfortunately, that's going to really hinder this Toronto offense, especially given the fact that word is we may be seeing either a suspension or some sort of legal trouble, maybe even legal trouble that ends up bringing Henry Ruggs off the field permanently. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. And what a kick there by Justin Tucker. Yes, probably the best kicker in NFL history. He just nails that kick like it is his job, but like it is something he does on a daily basis. What a kick, making it 10-0 Baltimore. So now it is going to be 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line as Ryan Fitzpatrick and this offense, they are going to need to make some plays. More than that, they are going to need to get some points on the football field. Now, I guess they need points on the football field too, but they specifically need points on the scoreboard. And look, what a move there, but he jukes into the guy behind him, ironically enough. That was Patrick Laird with only a 1-yard carry. He had more room there to get some more yardage, but was unable to do so. And Ryan Fitzpatrick, he steps up in the pocket and gets sacked. That is Cassius Marsh with the sack. This Baltimore Ravens defense is really making it difficult for this Toronto offense to do much of anything. Fitzpatrick, I'm not sure what he saw there. I don't know if he felt pressure that wasn't there, but he just stepped up in the pocket, and it looked like he was trying to throw the football as he gets sacked by Cassius Marsh. That was just a bad play from a veteran player in Ryan Fitzpatrick. And now in shotgun on 3rd and 11, Fitz drops back. He rolls out, finds his dump-off option in the flat. That is Patrick Laird, but that's nowhere near first down yardage. That's going to be a 3 and out for this Toronto Huskies team. We've seen too many of those this season, and we desperately need to see some, increased productivity from this offensive side of the football. I would love to see some more, down the field passing plays, kind of like what we saw last week when CeeDee Lamb had that really good game. We forced the football down the football field, and ironically enough, even though we didn't win the football game, we still had a really good day passing the football. In terms of the other, obviously, games that we've seen from this offense, this Toronto team, they've been very up and down this season. All right, under center, we have Lamar Jackson with a couple of players in the backfield. It's going to be a fake to the running back, and he's got all the time in the world, moving, just throws a deep ball. What a catch! That was caught from the 20 of their own side of the football field all the way to the 22. That is Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown, making another great play here. What a bomb. Lamar, I think he throws that from inside the 15, and that through the air lands at about the 20, 22-yard line or so. That was some impressive arm strength from Lamar Jackson, as he is under center once again, this time actually handing it off to none other than Mark Ingram, who gets a couple of yards here out to the 19, making it 2nd and 7. What a play, though, from Hollywood Brown. He just goes up over the safety. I believe that might have been, I don't know if that was the safety or the corner, but I think it could have been Rashad Jones or Logan Ryan. I couldn't tell which one that was. As Jalen Thompson comes up and makes another tackle here, making it 3rd and 3, and a quick pass over to the right-hand side. That is caught once again. Mark Andrews with another reception, his 4th catch. Ironically, we expected Mark Andrews to be the big, I mean, he's the target hog right now, but the big plays are going to Hollywood Brown. That's what they're utilizing him for, so it seems like whenever they need a big play down the football field, it is always Hollywood Brown. And that is the veteran Josh Bynes on the tackle. 1st and 10 now from the 10. And this is going to be Lamar Jackson handing off up the middle. That is Mark Ingram. And he gets down to the 6-yard line, making it 2nd and 6. Looks like Baltimore has a good chance of scoring here. And it's I formation and another handoff up. About 4 yards, making it 3rd and 2 from the 2-yard line. And that's going to be the end of the first quarter. Score of 10-0 with Baltimore driving deep into Toronto territory. Expect that score to go up, and it is going to be a pretty tough one for Lamar Jackson to contend with here. Or excuse me, Ryan Fitzpatrick to contend with when... And another run here. This is going to be a read option, though. Lamar Jackson takes this and gets tackled. Great awareness from that defense to realize that it's going to be a nice quarterback run. That would have been a touchdown, too, if Harvey Clemens didn't come up and make the play. Some nice awareness there. Goes and gets off of Patrick Ricard, who was coming in to block, and ends up getting Lamar Jackson, forcing a field goal here. Kind of a goal line stand in a sense, and that is going to be a good field goal, making the score 13-0. Now Toronto, I know there's a lot of time left in this game, but they need to get some offensive production. I need to see some first downs, at least get into field goal range, get some points on the board. And a massive kick here, forcing them to take over from the 25-yard line. Ryan Fitzpatrick and company, they're going to have to figure something out. Because right now it does not look good. It does not look good at all. In I formation, Fitzpatrick under center on 1st and 10. He takes the snap, drops back, and it's going to be a pass here over to the right-hand side, and that was just another errant pass from Ryan Fitzpatrick. That was intended for Henry Ruggs. And now they're going to go ahead and decide to hand this football off. What a powerful run, and now a fumble, and that's going to be picked up by the defense. No! Patrick Laird just trying to make something happen here. He makes some nice shifty moves, breaks the tackle, continues to push forward, and eventually ends up fumbling this football. And that is picked up by the defense. That might have been Earl Thomas, actually, who both forces the fumble and gets the fumble recovery. And just like that, Marquise Brown and this Baltimore offense comes back on the football field in field goal range, getting ready to make some more noise on that scoreboard. And another handoff here up the middle. That is, once again, Mark Ingram getting about 5 yards. He's been consistently getting that 4 to 5, maybe 6 yards every single carry, it feels like. And that's not sustainable from a defense. And once again, another handoff, and that gets about 4 or 5 yards for the first down. And Mark Ingram continues to just wear this defense down. Jalen Thompson once again coming in on the tackle. And another handoff, this time breaking a tackle and making people look silly out there as Mark Ingram gets another 5 or 6 yard carry on first down. Jalen Thompson again on the tackle. I feel like I've been saying his name all day long. As Mark Ingram comes in, this time gets tackled for pretty much no gain there. And Lamar Jackson, he's going to be taking this and throwing it on 3rd and 4, and that's over the middle and diving for the end zone. That is once again Hollywood Brown with his 2nd receiving touchdown and 3rd catch on the day. What a play here. What a nice ball from Lamar Jackson. And then just finding his way to the end zone and diving in between defenders. That is Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown as he's called, making plays. And now after this extra point, it's going to be 20-0 Baltimore. Remember when I said before this game that it is probably going to be a bloodbath, and that is exactly what it is looking like right now, as this Ravens defense is also a pretty good squad, which makes it even more difficult for this Toronto offense to score or really move the football at all, let alone score. And another kickoff through the back of the end zone. As you see, Patrick Laird averaging 5 yards a carry, but that fumble really killed that last drive. Now 1st and 10 with a bunch set to the left-hand side. Fitzpatrick drops back. He's going to throw it just out of bounds. I don't know if there was a miscommunication there or if it was just a throwaway. It's going to be 2nd and 10 now. Under center, Fitzpatrick on a quick throw to the left-hand side, and it's caught, but actually goes backwards, making it 3rd and 11 there. That was CeeDee Lamb with his first reception for -1 yard. Pretty much the only thing that catch was good for was any fantasy owners that had CeeDee Lamb. Now in shotgun, Fitzpatrick drops back. He's got a little pressure and now dumps it off once again, and a move just runs out of bounds after about a 2-yard gain. That is Patrick Laird. Another 3 and out. It seems like Fitzpatrick just isn't getting allowing himself enough time to push the ball down the field. A lot of dump offs here, as this is going to get returned to the 30-yard line.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Look at that touchdown, though, Earl. Doesn't it look like that was close? That was very close, but upstairs called that knee down before the shoulder went out of bounds. And look at these plays. Marquise Brown, I have to say, Marquise Brown is putting up huge numbers right now. I'm pretty sure that if he's not over 100, he's darn close to it. As you see, this offense just has not been able to be stopped so far. As Lamar Jackson in the gun with a running back behind him, and he's going to hand it off to the running back. That is actually going to be stopped for negative yardage there, believe it or not. That's Logan Ryan, the veteran, coming up to make the tackle. That's why I like Logan Ryan. He's both good as a coverage guy, but also he comes up and isn't afraid to get involved in the running attack. And being able to come up there and essentially stuff some of these early runs, it really helps out this defense to more or less force these long 2nd and 3rd downs. 2nd and 11 here. In the gun once again, over the middle, a reception, and I believe that is Mark Andrews once again. Feels like the only people, I think it literally has been the only people that Lamar Jackson has thrown the football to are either Mark Andrews or Hollywood Brown. It is nobody else. It's like everyone else is invisible in this offense. And that's going to be another 1st down for this Baltimore offense. They are just a well-tuned machine right now, moving down the football field. That is the rookie Richie Branch with the tackle in that last play. And look at this hole. Look at this play by Mark Ingram. He just bursts through that hole, has all the room in the world, gets easily to the 2nd level, and gets past the 1st down marker. Makes the tackle coming up from his safety position. Now 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. And this is going to be a fake to the running back all the time in the world. And he's going deep again. Lamar finds a man, and that is again Marquise Brown. A 44-yard touchdown. And that is right. His third touchdown today. As he just gets behind Jalen Thompson and Rashad Jones. They both just lose sight of him, and that allows a great throw from Lamar Jackson for a touchdown. What a play by this Baltimore offense. And once again, this is going to be another touchdown on the board after the extra point, making it 27-0. At this rate, I think there might be 50 points put up by this Baltimore defense, or excuse me, offense. I know this is something we have heard a couple times today, but a kickoff through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now this Toronto team, they know this game's over at this point, but this is an opportunity for them to try different things and, you know, try and develop something on this offense. And a quick pass here to the right-hand side, that's going to be a first down, one of the rare first downs from this Toronto offense today. That is Delaney Walker making the reception. An empty backfield for Ryan Fitzpatrick here. He's going to immediately throw quick over the middle. That is Delaney Walker again, second straight catch. And they're going to take a page out of Baltimore's handbook and just throw it to the tight end. Back-to-back plays here. And a pitch here to the Patrick Laird. He's going to bounce this outside, get some blocking, and another first down. That is 3 straight plays for 3 straight first downs. Where was this entire first half? And now the Huskies seem to be rolling. Nice plays there. Good blocking from the offensive line to get out there and make some, more or less, make some movement on this defense to allow Patrick Laird to end up getting another first down. Bunch set to the right-hand side. Under centers Fitzpatrick, who drops back, throws over the middle again. This time it's complete. Not for a first down, but gets it easily into field goal range, making it 2nd and 4. Fitzpatrick under center once again. A pitch this time to the left-hand side, and this is only going to get about a yard or two. Patrick Laird, as the Baltimore defense is all over that. Kenneth Murray on the tackle. And in the gun, we have Fitzpatrick over the middle, and he just misses his man. Wide open over the middle. He just throws it behind him and essentially doesn't allow his receiver an opportunity to catch this football. So Josh Lambo, an opportunity to score the first points of the day for this Toronto offense, and that is exactly what happens here. That is going to be the 5th make over 50 yards for Josh Lambo this season. He's having a heck of a year. He's pretty much the #1 scorer on this offense. Now the score is 27-3. All I'm saying is, can you smell a comeback? And this special teams unit is going to make that comeback a little harder as they go ahead and bring the return man down by the face mask, more or less allowing this Baltimore team to start off close to midfield at the 46-yard line. As Lamar Jackson turns and hands this football off on 1st and 10, Mark Ingram having nowhere to go, getting stopped in the backfield. That is Quincy Williams, the star player from the first season, shows up here once again. He's combining with the veteran Josh Bynes to make that tackle. Now Lamar Jackson in the gun here, and he's going to elect to pass this one over the left-hand side and all over the receiver. I believe that is Nick Needham. Miles Boykin with the reception. That was great coverage by Nick Needham to more or less not allow this receiver anywhere to go after he makes the reception, and he even contests the reception as well. That is just great coverage by Nick Needham. Sometimes there's not much you can do as a defender if the offensive player just makes a great play. All right, at the 2-minute warning, or coming out of the 2-minute warning now, 3rd and 5, an opportunity for this defense to get off this football field. And they're going to go ahead and blitz, and all the time in the world, though, to the end zone, and this is going to be picked off. What a great play. That is the veteran Rashad Jones going up as they finally target someone who's not Marquise Brown down the football field, and it gets intercepted. That was Willie Snead, the targeted receiver, as he had actually a receiver wide open underneath, but instead Lamar takes a chance and gets the ball intercepted here, one-on-one. But Rashad Jones, this time, the wily veteran, has that inside track that I talked about earlier on the touchdown by Marquise Brown. And making the play. That allows Ryan Fitzpatrick and company to come back onto the football field with 1:53 to go and an opportunity to put more points on the board. And he drops back here all the time in the world, and he's just going to drop this one off to the right-hand side. And I don't even know if that was complete. A sliding grab. And that's Trent Sherfield with no gain. And immediately throws this one over the middle, but is not complete on 2nd and 10. That was a tough completion there. Making it 3rd and 10 now. Ryan Fitzpatrick, they elect to just hand this football off to John Kelly, who has room, gets the first down yardage. What a play there. That's 12 yards, and they're going to go hurry up here. And Fitzpatrick looks over to the right-hand side, and almost complete. That was CeeDee Lamb, who ends up getting the ball knocked out of his hands. And now once again, 2nd and 10, throwing this over the middle, complete this time. I believe that was CeeDee Lamb on the reception. 1st down, and they're going to go ahead and take the first time out here with about a minute left on the clock. This Huskies team sitting at their own 42-yard line. Empty backfield. Fitzpatrick, he's going to look over to the right-hand side, over the middle actually, breaking free, getting past the 50 to the 44-yard line, and another timeout from Toronto, and they are moving the football field right now down the field, and another throw here. Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's under pressure though, and this time he goes down. That is Kenneth Murray coming in on the blitz. Now 30 seconds to go, and he's going to move around in the pocket and just throw this one into the ground. Ryan Fitzpatrick feeling the pressure now. 3rd and 19 from their own 47-yard line. And they're going to elect to hand this one off up the middle to the 48-yard line. And it looks like they're just content to taking this to halftime. I would have liked to see them push the football down the field there, but I understand, not risking allowing Lamar Jackson another opportunity to get some points on the football. Scoreboard there. And this one goes out of bounds with zeros on the clock inside the 10-yard line. That's going to be it for this first half, and let's go ahead and take a look around the entire NFL right now, see some of these other scores, what's happening in these other games. And at the halftime report, we're going to immediately jump into a intense matchup here, Pittsburgh at Houston. And Pittsburgh right now, with a rookie quarterback, seems to be moving down the field and looks like they are in line to beat the Josh Rosen-led Texans. That's right, the Josh Rosen-led Texans, as right here, as you see, the Patriots end up just stomping the Dolphins. Gardner Minshew, the Dolphins starting quarterback here, Cam Newton getting it done for New England, though. And Dallas and the Washington Redskins are in a heated matchup heading into halftime. It is 14-14, an opportunity with 2 interceptions from Dak Prescott. That is not like him, as we see some pretty close matchups around the league, and this is probably the biggest blowout of this week, though, right here in our game. And we're just seeing elite play from Lamar Jackson and this Baltimore offense right now. And they're going to go ahead and kick this off to start off the second half. And a return here from this Toronto team, getting it out to the 29, almost to the 30 here.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
As Ryan Fitzpatrick is double checking with the coach as he comes onto the football field. Got to make sure he has the play call right. And now in the gun, Fitzpatrick on 1st and 10. He's going to fake the handoff and throw it down the football field, almost getting it to the receiver, but the defender with good coverage gets a hand on that football. That was intended for Trent Sherfield. As Fitz, once again here, is going to roll around in the pocket and, again, batted down. That was intended for the running back coming out of the backfield, Patrick Laird. But it's going to be 3rd and 10, and they're going to fake the handoff and push this football down the field. And what a reception here on the right-hand side. That is Trent Sherfield with his 3rd catch of the day. And another first down for Toronto, getting out to the 47-yard line. They're picking up off right where they left off this first half, pushing the ball down the football field. That's what we need to see more of. You know, more of that downfield passing game. As Fitzpatrick in the gun once again, bunch set to the left-hand side. He's going to hand this off right up the middle. Patrick Laird with some running room gets to the 40-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 7 yards on first down. 2nd and 2 now. And Toronto, they drop back and look over the middle. And this is going to be intercepted. Intercepted by Tavon Young, the corner, making a play for this Baltimore defense. And Ryan Fitzpatrick with only his 2nd interception on the season. And this one was a pretty blatant one. I don't know if he just didn't see the corner there and thought that Sherfield was going to be open or what, but Tavon Young making the play there. Lamar Jackson and this offense, this high-powered offense, is coming out once again. Looks like they're going to audible here. And they're going to fake the handoff and throw it over to the right-hand side. That is Willie Snead with his first catch on the day. Now under center, we have Lamar Jackson with a bunch set to the left-hand side. He's going to hand it off up the middle, and what a play by this defense, actually getting him in the backfield for a loss. That is Mark Ingram with Quincy Williams coming up and making the play for this Toronto defense. Another long 3rd down here, and an opportunity once again to get this Baltimore offense off the football field. Lamar's in the gun here. He's going to drop back. He's going to scan the field, look over to the left-hand side, and a first down and then some from Willie Snead on that nice little out route. That's going to be about a 13 or 14-yard reception. It'll be a first down and 10 now from the 49-yard line. And right now, it just looks like this Baltimore offense can't do anything wrong. They're going to fake the handoff up the middle, push it down the middle of the field this time with another completion to Hollywood Brown. To the 38-yard line, another first down. That is 5 receptions for 167 yards. As Lamar over the middle, this time to Mark Andrews for a first down. That's going to be 11 yards to Mark Andrews. Over 300 total yards now for this offense. And they're going to hand this one off up the middle for about a gain of maybe 1 yard for Mark Ingram. 2nd and 9 now. The veteran Josh Bynes coming in to make that play. And another handoff up the middle. This time, that is, I believe, Floyd Ellis. That's what we're looking for from him. And here, Lamar throwing it down the football field and caught for another touchdown. That is his fourth touchdown in this game and 5th on the season. Coming into this football game, Marquise Brown only had 1 touchdown reception and now has 4 more to add to that total in this one. Look at the play, and that is Jalen Thompson on coverage, as they are right now just abusing the back half of this secondary. And pending this extra point, the score is going to be 34-3. And Baltimore just can't be stopped right now. Lamar right now with 4 receiving touchdowns. 5 actually, excuse me. 5, or not receiving, 5 passing touchdowns in this game, making the score, was it 5 or maybe, I think it might have been 4 receiving touchdowns. I'm not sure at this point. I think it was 4 receiving, or 4 passing touchdowns. All of them to Marquise Brown down the field. Now, quick pass over the middle here on 1st and 10 for this Toronto offense. Fitzpatrick getting about 9.5 to Trent Sherfield, making it 2nd and inches. And this was going to be a first down for Patrick Laird up the middle. Now in I formation, under center, we have Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's going to hand it off up the middle once again, and this time getting stuffed is Patrick Laird with only about a 1-yard gain. It was Mark Barron coming up to make the tackle, and this time another run up the middle and nowhere to go for Patrick Laird. Tackle for no gain. And 3rd and 9, we have Fitzpatrick dropping back. He's going to look over to the right-hand side and complete, but I don't think that's for first down yardage, as they're going to attempt another field goal here from the 47-yard line, tying the NFL record, and that is short. That is well short. Josh Lambo doesn't have the leg to do that. They wanted to give him an opportunity, though. And not only is that short, I think that may have been wide left as well. As you see, it looks like they may be bringing out some backups now for this Baltimore offense. And now a handoff up the middle here. That is going to be Mark Ingram. First down carry for 8 yards. Up to the 38 now. Putting a man in motion. Lamar, he fakes the handoff and gets sacked here. That is Logan Ryan coming off the blitz, making a big play. The first Toronto sack is from the corner, of all people. Not the defensive tackles or the defensive ends. That is the corner coming off the edge. The veteran, Logan Ryan, forcing an 8-yard sack here on Lamar Jackson, one of the shiftier quarterbacks in the NFL. With about 3 minutes left in this third quarter. Lamar's going to elect to pass here over on the right-hand side, and he just misses his man who was open on that right-hand side. That was intended for Willie Snead, who had first down yardage, but Lamar just can't get him the football. He just overthrows him there on that out route. Now a punt here, one of the rare punts from this Baltimore offense. And that's going to just go into the end zone for a touchback. As you see, there's lots of dirt and debris here all over Ryan Fitzpatrick as he's been getting hit, and this offense in general has just been getting beat up so far. As they're going to hand this football off over to the right-hand side, getting about 1 yard there. Patrick Laird couldn't get past his offensive lineman on that play. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9. Another handoff over to the left-hand side. Some room here, and Patrick Laird goes backwards for no gain now. I don't know what he was thinking there. Nice play from Marcus Peters, but 3rd and 9 now, and a pass over to the right-hand side, caught. That is Trent Sherfield once again with his 6th catch on the day, but only for 7 yards as they needed 10. Matt Hawk, who has been a busy man today, is getting ready to punt once again, and a booming punt here goes through the back of the end zone. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 20 now. Look at that day by Marquise Brown. 6 catches, 193 yards, and 4 touchdowns. I expect there to be a heavy dose of running here for the rest of this game from Baltimore. And it's actually a play action here as they go down the football field, and that's a reception for Mark Andrews, a 1st down catch. And now Lamar, he's going to hand it off and fake the handoff, actually, take it himself and get up for about 4 yards on that carry. 2nd and 6 now. And they're going to elect to throw it here over the middle. Once again, Mark Andrews with another reception. He's got to be closing in on 10 receptions today. And as you see, that Ravens offense has just been consistently putting up points through all 3 quarters. Now to start the 4th quarter, under center, Lamar hands his football off, and that's going to be Mark Ingram for actually maybe a 1 yard gain. As Lamar hands it off once again up the middle, Mark Ingram has room, and he's just protecting that football as he gets about 14 yards there on that carry into 1st down. And he's now up to 70 yards on the day. A pretty good day from Mark Ingram, as he's just holding on to that football for dear life. Now an I formation. And they're going to hand it off up the middle. That is going to be another Mark Ingram carry for only about a yard, though, here. Good stop from this Toronto defense. That's Floyd Ellis on the tackle. And this is going to be a fake handoff on 2nd and 9. They're going to go down the left-hand side and out of bounds, just overthrowing his receiver. That is Miles Boykin, the intended receiver. Now 3rd and 9, and they're going to do a quick pass here to the outside and a move, and that is going to be Willie Snead getting inside the 30, almost to first down yardage. Just making the tackle in time is Josh Bynes. That's going to be 4th and 1 now. And probably another field goal on this scoreboard for none other than the Baltimore Ravens once again. And Willie Snead with a nice move there, almost gets to the first down marker. As you see Justin Tucker come onto the football field with about 8.5 minutes left in this 4th quarter. And once again, nails another field goal, making it 37-3. As this Baltimore team, they just can't do anything wrong so far in this entire game. Now kicking off once again to this Toronto Huskies squad and going through the back of the end zone for about what feels like the 10th time today. As Ryan Fitzpatrick and company come back onto the football field, hoping to end this drive a little better than their last couple.
Hey, Mike, 180! Check, 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 check. Check 31, check 31.
As Fitzpatrick, 1st and 10, over the middle, and that gets batted down. It's not a good start here with 8.5 left. 2nd and 10. Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's going to throw it, dump it off to the running back, and he gets about a yard as he steps out of bounds. That is Patrick Laird with the reception. 3rd and 9. That is Patrick Laird again, but only for about a 2-yard gain. Another 3-and-out force by this Baltimore defense. And it's probably a good thing that Fitzpatrick did get that ball out. I just wish it would have been further down the football field, as he was getting pressured there from that right-hand side. And Matt Hack, once again, punting this football away. And this is going to be returned from the 15-yard line, up past the 20 to the 23. Crazy day for Marquise Brown and this entire Baltimore offense right now. They, I believe, are closing in on 400 total offensive yards.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D. Shoot, shoot.
And here we go, a handoff up the middle, bouncing it to the right-hand side, and that's going to go for about a 4-yard carry for Mark Ingram on 1st down. Another handoff up the middle. This is going to be Mark Ingram finding some space and pulling defenders for a 1st down. That's going to be another nice play from this rushing attack, as Mark Ingram now is closing in on 100 yards. And it looks like he just carried Josh Bynes for about 5 yards. About 6 minutes now left in this 4th quarter. And another handoff, but it's going to be fake actually, as Lamar takes it on the read option and gets another 5 or 6 yard carry himself. Now, in I formation, Lamar Jackson, he's going to hand it off to the left-hand side and has some room, and with a shoestring tackle, Josh Bynes just gets Mark Ingram. That is going to be a 100-yard rushing day for Mark Ingram, as you see him bounce this outside and find some room, and if he could have put the Jets on there, he may have been gone. Once again, under center, Lamar Jackson, he's going to hand off again, this time over to that left-hand side, and this time it's going to be David Johnson with his first carry of the day, getting about 4 yards. Once again, Josh Bynes coming up to make the tackle in this rushing attack. And another nice play there for a 1st down. Nice little shift move by David Johnson, getting about 9 yards. And a 1st down as Rashad Jones ends up coming up to make the tackle. You see a lot of these veteran players coming up in the running game and making tackles. About 3.5 minutes left in this game. As you see Baltimore once again under center and looking to hand it off again up the middle. This time it's going to be Mark Ingram getting about 3 yards. 2nd and 7 now. They're just eating clock away at this point, icing this game. And once again up the middle, this time Mark Ingram only gets about a yard or two, making it 3rd and 4. Josh Bynes with his 9th tackle on the day as we reach the 2-minute warning right now. It's going to be 3rd and 4 now from the 23-yard line in field goal range. But they're looking for a first down to end this game right here as they throw it. And it gets a sack here. Terrell Beckwith with probably his best game as a pro so far. He gets a sack here on 3rd down. And that's going to force this Baltimore team to kick another field goal. As you just get the pressure right up the middle there. As Terrell Beckwith beats his man, gets to Lamar, and just brings him down. As Justin Tucker is going to be kicking this field goal with about 1 minute and 15 seconds left on the clock. And that's going to be another good field goal from Justin Tucker. It is 40-3 right now as Baltimore is just mopping the floor with this Toronto Huskies team. As you can tell, this Toronto team has a long way to go before they're able to really compete in the NFL. As they're going to take a touchback here with about 1 minute 13 left, more or less just trying to pad some stats for their own dignity right now as this Toronto offense. As you have Ryan Fitzpatrick here in the gun. 2 receivers to the right-hand side and 2 to the left. But he's going to hand it off instead. Up the middle, Patrick Laird goes for about 6 yards. And it looks like they're content with just kind of finishing this game out. And they're going to actually throw it here on 2nd and 4. He steps up in the pocket is Fitzpatrick. Down the right-hand side, finds a man, makes a move. And that's going to be actually a face mask on the defense, so they get extra yardage. And that play brings them all the way down to the 26-yard line of the Baltimore Ravens. And just like that, there's an opportunity that this Toronto team can get points on the scoreboard right now. With 43 seconds left in this game, Fitzpatrick, he throws over to the right-hand side, finds his man. That's going to be first down yardage with about 12 yards there. 22 seconds. They're going to hurry up with 3 receivers to the right-hand side. Hand it off up the middle. That is Patrick Laird breaking tackles, getting down to the 5-yard line. They're going to need to call a timeout here, and they don't. They just let it roll out of time. I don't know what is going on. I guess the coach decided he just wanted to go home. I don't blame him. I do not blame him after that performance from this Toronto Huskies team. Defensively, they could do nothing against this team. Offensively, it was even worse. It was just a, look at that, over 400 yards and 40 points from this Baltimore Ravens offense. So the final in this one is going to be 40-3. As you see, all 4 of Lamar Jackson's passing touchdowns went to none other than Hollywood Brown. But what that means exactly is, once again, this Toronto team is slowly but surely solidifying themselves as a top contender for the #1 pick. But let's see what we get for this breakout player. Did we get what was requested? And it was actually no. Floyd Ellis was unable to get his opportunity. That's unfortunate. So just more bad news And not to put insult to injury, but our kick returner, Ashton Doolin, fractured his arm, so he will be out for about 5 weeks while that heals up. As you see, the partial ACL tear from Keontae Bonds. You know, we are hoping that we get Keontae Bonds back for week 13, around week 13, 12, or 13 for this Huskies offense. They're going to desperately need him, especially with how bad this offense is playing right now. But a surprisingly pretty good day from Trent Sherfield, though, as the fill-in for Keontae Bonds. But I believe this should wrap up this episode of the Toronto Huskies franchise. I will continue to work on scouting some players now that we have a different draft class. So obviously no longer the players I was working on. I found out they're all in the NFL, just on practice squads for some reason. So we're going to have to rework this. I have a different draft class in here. It's a created draft class, so not one that is a random draft class, but also not one that you guys will recognize the names for, most likely. So we are going to be continuing to scout, and then we will go ahead and figure out what there is to do as we answer a media question here. All right, as you see here, you're under 500 right now, and you've watched this team struggle through the first half of the season. Turning it around as soon as possible has to be the mindset now, doesn't it? So I'm going to go ahead and say that absolutely, I believe this team is better than their record, but if not, then there's going to be changes. And I do believe that is going to be the case this offseason, this upcoming offseason. I expect a lot of new faces to be coming onto this Toronto Huskies team, and some possibly new coaches, depending on how things work out here. But I do expect some changes. So that is something that you can look forward to for the offseason as we just continue to chug along here halfway through the season now, as the Toronto Huskies are sitting at 1-7 right now, dead last in their division. Next time, though, we will be facing the division-leading Texans. That's right, the division-leading Houston Texans, who for most of the season have actually been without Deshaun Watson. So keep an eye on that. We may be facing a Josh Rosen-led Houston Texans team, but we'll have to keep an eye on that. Until then, though, my name is Tayvikes28, and I thank you for watching, and hopefully you have a great rest of your day.